An island larger in size than California or Spain, as well as being a hotspot for biodiversity. This description may seem to fit perfectly with a lost world like Skull Island, but there is a place that fits this description on the planet we call home right now. Madagascar is the fourth largest island on Earth, being the largest off the coast of Africa, and on this subtropical island live some of Earth's most bizarre inhabitants. For those who have somehow not heard of Madagascar, it's a very large island, 400 kilometres east of Mozambique and the rest of continental Africa. At nearly 600,000 square kilometres in land area, Madagascar is roughly the size of mainland France, excluding overseas territories. As a result of its proximity to Africa and the equator, Madagascar has a tropical maritime climate with a distinct wet and dry season. Although Madagascar has a climate that fluctuates between 28 and 32 degrees, the hottest temperature ever recorded on the island was 49.4 degrees Celsius, recorded in February of 2020. As a result of its fluctuating climate and distance from north to south, along with the western mountain ranges, Madagascar has a wide range of habitats and ecosystems. Though much of Madagascar is forested, there are different kinds of forests found on the island, including dry forests and lush rainforests, along with arid deserts. As a result of its isolation and different ecosystems, Madagascar has some of the highest rates of species endemism of any island, with over 170,000 of the 250,000 species on the island being endemic, found nowhere else on Earth. The most iconic group of organisms on Madagascar, along with being arguably Madagascar's most famous part overall, are its over 100 species of lemur. Lemurs are a superfamily in the suborder Strepsirrhini. This suborder is a sister taxa to our suborder, the Haplorhini. The Haplorhini contains humans, other apes, monkeys, and tarsiers. These two suborders together create the order we call primates. Other members of Strepsirrhini include the lorises and bush babies. It isn't known when exactly lemurs arrived on Madagascar, with nuclear DNA testing and fossils from mainland Africa suggesting an arrival between 23 and 70 million years ago. Unfortunately, because Madagascar has near non-existent Cenozoic deposits of fossils, the oldest lemur remains found on Madagascar are only 26,000 years old, with these being subfossil remains. Existing in our time frame of over 8,000 years ago, which follows over from my previous two videos on ancient Earth, Madagascar was home to an incredibly diverse array of lemurs. These included the massive Archaeoindrus, which was a gorilla-sized genus of the extinct Paleopropithecidae, which have been nicknamed the sloth lemurs. Archaeoindrus has been known to Western scientists since 1909, but it's believed to have gone extinct around 200 BC. Alongside Archaeoindrus, 17 other now extinct lemurs once lived on Madagascar, including the giant giant ruffed or pachylemurs, and Megalodapus, the koala lemur. There would have also been nearly 110 species of still living lemurs inhabiting the islands, ranging in size from 30 grams, the size of a house mouse, to over 10 kilograms, the size. Though lemurs are by far the most charismatic and diverse of Madagascar's inhabitants, they're far from the only mammals. And 8,000 years ago, Madagascar was home to miniature hippos. 3 species of roughly pony-sized hippopotamus existed on the island until as recently as 1,000 years ago. All 3 species are believed to have been descendants of a migrating population of African hippos, which from unknown means managed to arrive on Madagascar and shrink in size. Another group of non-lemur mammals are the Epluridae, which are the 10 living species of Malagasy mammalian carnivores. The most famous example of this family is the fossa, which is Madagascar's apex predator throughout the majority of Madagascar's ecosystems, including the interior uplands. There also used to be a much larger fossa, which inhabited Madagascar, called the giant fossa, which hunted the large lemurs of the island and grew to be over 20 kilograms. It wasn't only the mammals which filled megafaunal niches on Madagascar in the early Holocene. Apiorniformes were the order containing the elephant birds, of which there were 3 now extinct species. The more well-known genus, Apiornis, contained 2 species, the greater elephant bird and the lesser elephant bird. Both species could more than double the mass of an ostrich, with Apiornis maximus, the greater elephant bird, possibly reaching a full ton in weight. The lesser-known genus, Melanornis, contains just 1 species, M. modestus, which was a cassowary-sized elephant bird inhabiting southern Madagascar. All 3 species of elephant birds were ratites, which contain today's ostriches, emus, kiwis, cassowaries, and even rheas. The final extinct species once endemic to Madagascar was Voay robustus, which was a large crocodile, appearing to have horns at the back of its skull, even though these were actually extensions of the squamosal bone found in most reptiles. Voay robustus was a member of the Cran group containing living crocodilians, being closely related to crocodiles in the genus Crocodylus, including the Nile, saltwater, Orinoco, and American crocodiles. Today, the only crocodilians known to inhabit Madagascar are the Nile crocodiles, which didn't inhabit Madagascar until 7,500 years ago, after our 8,000-year cutoff. So, how did a land with dwarf hippos, gorilla lemurs, and elephant birds lose these amazing megafaunal species? The answer should be kind of obvious. The earliest evidence of human hunters on Madagascar in the form of elephant bird kill sites dates to around 8500 BCE, which was over 10,500 years ago. Although Madagascar is officially and geographically a part of Africa, its peoples were and are not originally from the continent. Instead, there is overwhelming evidence genetically, linguistically, historically, and through archaeological sites that the native Malagasy are Australasian in origin. Specifically, it's believed that the Malagasy descend from expeditions of the Sunda Island people to Madagascar while on voyages across the Indian Ocean. Upon arriving in Madagascar, these people would have hunted the native megafauna along with collecting eggs from the native avian life. The native megafauna would have never experienced any predator like the one that is man, and eventually they were driven into extinction. The majority of these megafauna are believed to have gone extinct by 1000 CE or AD. Unfortunately, the extinction of Madagascar's unique wildlife continues to this day, and it's believed that 2/3 of its mammals are threatened with extinction in the modern era.